Hello everyone, welcome to another new series which is called Zendala Fever. Basically we will be working on a series of Zendala tiles and round tiles basically, and I have already posted a couple of strings, about 12 of them, both on my Facebook page Sanyukta Zentangle and also on my Instagram. So I would like you all to prepare your tile beforehand with the strings, right? These strings are not original by me. They are picked up from Pinterest. I like certain strings. I put it down on my tile. What we will be doing with the string will be an original thing, right? We will be using Zentangle patterns. We'll using tangles to fill up these spaces. Use these strings, right? So we'll be drawing about a couple of tiles, 12 of them. I'll be using basically my micron pen, O1 or O2, and a brown pen or a burgundy pen, whichever you are more comfortable with. I like this color more, that's why I generally use burgundy pen, or you can use a brown pen, right? Or we may, some of the tiles may be entirely with black pen only, right? So let's get started with today's session. So basically you can take out the print of the tiles that I posted and draw the string on your own. They are not very complex string, but still if you feel that they are not you are finding it difficult to draw, I'll show you quickly. This is the string that we are going to be drawing today. So what I'm going to do here is mark the center point using the markers, right? So this is the center. So I'm just going to add one orb and then add one more orb circle, right? And then I'm going to draw these petal shapes or domes, whatever you want to call it, about 5 of them like this, right? And then I'm going to draw straight lines from each of these intersections like this, right? And then I'm going to add a leaf shape like this, right? So as I mentioned, the strings have been picked up from Pinterest. However, we will be making them our own and tangling around inside, outside, right? And then next is to add these lines, 2 lines between each, right? So I am drawing the string in front of you. It is not a very complex string to draw. You can draw it freehand. You should basically draw it freehand, right? So that's the string that we are going to be using today. Yeah, so let's get started right away. So the center section, let us leave this section empty first and we'll see if we want to add something there. So I'm just going to ink. So this is a micron O2. You can use O1 or O2, whichever you want. And I'm inking this string. Right? And now I'm going to add the tangle bunzo, right? So series of consecutive C shapes with alternate pairs inked is the tangle bunzo, right? So I am following the string and inserting the tangle bunzo in this band, in this section. Yeah, so slowly take your time and draw each stroke, the C stroke, as it culminates into your tangle bunzo, right? So that's the first step. The second step in bunzo is inking. So inking with a highlight, or you can give that highlight with your chalk, entirely up to you. So I'm going to be leaving a highlight like this, yeah. So again, Banzo is a drama tangle since it has lot of inking involved. You can also use patterns inside these stripes, right? So entirely up to you, how do you want to go about it, but some portion of inking always looks nice, adds that drama factor to your tile, as I keep saying always. Yeah, so you should always use a mix of drama tangles and simple tangles which do not have much inking, right? So I'm just going to ink this like this only. So I am done with the inking of my Banzo, right? You can see the drama that it adds to your tile. Next are these sections, right? So I think I'll pick up my PN now. This is burgundy PN, and just add ink the string basically. So I'm going to be using another Zentangle original called Polygon inside these sections, right? So first I'm going to aura the section closely like this, right? Yeah, and then add a moon, and then add auras. Yeah, if you want you can add the auras till the end, or you can end just ink the ends, right? So that's one more way. So this is basically one section of the tangle polygon. Again add an aura. I'll show you closely. Add an aura, and then add a moon, right? And then just like we add auras to the moon in crescent moon, add the auras. The ends can be inked. Right, so I'm going to do the same exercise for all these sections. I'll show you one more. Going to add an aura inside, right? Again add a moon, ink the moon, and then aura the moon. Ink the ends. You can add any other pattern of your choice, right? So you can add orbs, you can add so many patterns to choose from. So this is just a suggestion, right? Right, so I have finished that exercise. The next thing that we are going to do is the leaves or the petal shapes, right? So again I'm going to outline the leaf, add a line. If you want you can add double lines also, right? Like this. I think it will add to the look. And then I'm going to add these mocha shapes or fescue shapes and add a small V under it. Fescue shape and a small V under it. Ink this space, right? Again fescue or mocha, whatever you want to call it. Small bit of inking there. Again fescue, give a nice curl like printums. Small inking there. Again curl, inking small there, and the final one. Yeah, you can also add some inking here like this. Yeah, again do the same exercise on the other side. First I'm going to draw these shapes, fescues, brintums, mucas, whatever you want to call it. Right, I hope it is clear. Yeah, then fill up these small little spaces in between. And then add a small V kind of a shape. Add a little depth and a little inking here. Yeah, that's about it. Yeah, so I'm going to do the same for all. Again, draw the petal shape, add a line in the center, add an aura like this, and then first you can draw these shapes. They are touching each other just the way they do in opus, a tangle called opus, right? That's the way I'm drawing these curls. They are touching each other and they are touching the border, right? Same this side. Give a nice curl, touch the border and touch the last one. Right? Then ink this section, the small little intersectices between tangles. You must ink them, it adds a lot to the look of the tangle. Yeah, and then a small V shape, basically rounding or whatever you want to call it, just a little character. Yeah, and then a little inking from where the lines are emanating. Yeah, that's about it. Yeah, so I'll do exactly the same for all. Take your time and slowly complete the exercise. One curl, two curl, be patient, take one stroke at a time, do nice curls, yeah, on both sides. Don't need to bother much how many on each side. You're drawing freehand. Just go with the flow. Yeah. So I'm now working on the last one. Again adding a little weight below my curl. Yeah. Yeah, and then adding some weight from where lines are emanating. Yeah, that's it. We are done, right? So the next is to ink this line. And you can insert any pattern of your choice. Let's do the tangle doodah here, right? A nice border tangle. So I'm going to start with the straight lines from both sides like this. Yeah, coming almost 3/4 the distance, starting from both sides. Right, and you can add a little bit of rounding at the ends of the lines, just adding a small V shape, a little weight. Do the same exercise on the other side. So just adding a little ink at the ends. If you want, you can add a little dot at the end. Will add a little more to the look of your tangle. Like this. Yeah, simple tangle to draw. Line based. Again, start with lines from both sides. Just go with the way the lines are going. It's a curved line, so your doodah will also turn. Add the dots. Yeah, and then add the rounding, a little weight at the ends, small little exercise that adds a lot to the look of the tangles. Yeah, I'll do exactly the same for all of these sections. The third one. Right. So for the next section, the last section, right, I have drawn a square grid here, right, and I will be drawing the pattern Knightsbridge inside it, just like a checkerboard, zigzag, I'm sorry, the alternate sections inked. Yeah, again a drama tangle, adds lot of drama to your tile. Simple tangle Knightsbridge, right? So I've added a thin aura here and then added the square grid, right? And now I've switched pens to 08 and going to add ink to alternate sections, right? So I'll show you one section and then you can do it the same way. It involves lot of inking, so take your time. If you want, you can add some other pattern instead of inking, right? So choice is yours. How do you want to go about? But inking adds to the look of the tangle and the tile, right? So these are big sections, so just ink them. Take your time. Pick up a bolder nib and slowly ink alternate sections. I also saw, in the latest project pack, some bit of coffering being used by, I think, Molly. I'm not sure. and it looked pretty nice, added a nice character to the knight's bridge. So that's a good idea to do. The white blank spaces, you can add a little bit of gophring and your knight's bridge starts to look a little different from generally what it is. Yeah, so just ink and the last few sections left here. Yeah, so what I was talking about is in one of the triangular tiles she did gophring, something like this, right? So it was looking pretty nice. Nice idea. Gophring is basically this. So you add basically 4 dots at 4 corners and then join those dots. So there was a slight curve, so it looked better, right? So we have big spaces here, so we can do that exercise here also. Small little things that you can do to your tangle. Yeah, so again I will do the same exercise in the next section, right? Start inking. So I'm done with inking my knight's bridge, and now I'm going to just add that gophring, right? Small little spaces. Basically add 4 dots, link the dots to the corners and then link the dots with each other, right? So easier way is to, since the spaces are small, you can do all that exercise at the same time. Yeah, like this. Yeah, so I'll do that for all. Slowly take your time. Yeah, right, so I'm done with that exercise. Now let us move on to shading our tile. So if you want, you can add something in the center or you can leave it as it is, right? So let us add one more aura inside, and you can just add a caviar or you can add anything else, right? So probably I will just add these lines with some weight at the end. Curved lines with some weight at the end, drawing a small V at the end, right? So now comes shading. So Bunzo, I'll add graphite on the 2 sides. The center is highlighted. You may not add the graphite on the ink section, so just white section. Add graphite. right? And then on the polygon where there is no inking on two sides, right? Then as far as these mukas or fescue shapes, you can either add in the center or you can add on one side. So that high and low kind of effect, right? We didn't add weight in this one, so let's add some weight. Yeah. Yeah, on the Duda both sides. Yeah, and then again on both sides of Knightsbridge. So don't add too much and avoid adding on the blacks. Sorry. Yeah, and on the inside. Try and keep this aura white. Thin aura, but will look nice if it is kept white. So time to blend now, starting with our banzo. Just pull the graphite towards the center, but we have a highlight in the center, so don't cover the highlight. And make sure that the inks have dried up. So we have done quite a bit of inking here, so don't start shading immediately. Give that time for the ink to dry up, otherwise times you damage your tile. Yeah, so both sides of banzo, so you can see how the banzo looks all curled up from the center. Yeah, moving on to our polygon. Just blend the pencil from both sides. Carefully, don't blend too much. You need the center white, just like a highlight. Yeah, then moving on to the next, blend on both sides of Duda. Right, take your time and blend it nicely, but leave a highlight in the center. We will use our chalk to highlight those spaces. Yeah, Then coming to the mukas, just blend it on one side. Yeah, and then finally the Knightsbridge. Just blend the corners, make sure the ink is dry. And the other side. Right, so I think we are done with the blending. Now let us move on to highlighting. Yeah, so just pick up your chalk pencil and add highlights. Banzo already has a highlight, but if you want to redo it, you can touch it. Like this. Then highlights in the center of the polygon. You can also hide highlights by breaking the line. The other side of the mocha. Just lighten it a little so that it looks like folded from the center. Right, the center of your Duda. And the center of the Knightsbridge. Right, so that's about the highlighting. So use another blending stub and just soften the chalk so that the highlights look like a soft luster or shine on your Knightsbridge. They should not look patchy. Yeah, same can be done for the others. Just soften the chalk. Yeah, and we are done. Right, so a few lines here and there which you would want to re-emphasize, you can, right, but I don't see much need here. Yeah, because this is brown, so if I touch it, it will look different. You can add a small highlight here also. Yeah, that's about it. That's our Zendala for today, right? So we will be doing many more such sessions, and we will be working on Zendalas and beautiful strings. So do keep posting your comments. I look forward to reading them. I enjoy reading them. Your feedback is valuable, and I shall meet you again with one more session, right? Till then, have a good time. Bye bye.